One of the big challenges that our executive community members express to us pretty often is, and they're right about one of these things, right? I'm amazing. I have got this great track record. I've got an awesome resume. My materials are actually together, but they tell us I'm having trouble getting in front of the right people because I believe that if I did, I would be able to push my agenda forward and land the role that's right for me. So I think somewhere in there is a question about visibility and knowing who the right people are. How do you assess that, Sharon, if you're talking to a candidate?
Yeah. So I'll answer it two ways. So first of all, I would tell you there's a lot of really good recruiters that specialize within the space you live. They can, I always tell people, my job is not to get you the job. If I could interview for you, like I could help. But the reality is you have to present yourself, right? What I do is I kick open the door. You will not sit on HR's file. You will sit on the president's desk because I have the relationship to be able to say, hey, Mr. President, hey, Mrs. President, I have someone that I would like you to meet. So finding someone that lives within your space, that's really what good recruiters do. I mean, and retained recruiters are better than contingent. I'm not gonna lie because contingent recruiters market you and it still ends up in HR's desk. Where if you find someone that has relationships with the right people, you know, I've placed, I can't tell you how many people never even presented a resume. All I did was say, here's why I love this person. And I want you to give them an audience. If you come back to me and say, I don't think so, Sharon, no harm, no foul. I'm good. But I really believe this person is worth a conversation. So that piece is really good. But somebody who is in the world that you live is very helpful because then they can kick open doors in the right space. So that's the first thing. But I also think that that tendency to just answer job ads and those sort of things, as opposed to really doing your research on a company. So again, if I was going to look for a job and I was going to apply at Kimberly Clark, I don't think I'd answer an ad to Kimberly Clark because it's going to go to baby human generalist who's going to make a decision, or even worse, AI, who makes a decision that's like they don't know anything about you. They just make a decision because they filter through on keywords and you're either in or you're out.
Right.
So at our level that we all work, I would do research on the company. I would research who's in the area that would make sense for me to build a relationship with. And then I would send them, worst case scenario, I'd send them an email on LinkedIn. Best case scenario, I'd find out their email and send them a note and say, uh, I have tremendous intrigue about Kimberly Clark. I also just noticed that you guys are doing X, Y, and Z. And from my background, I also have done this, and I believe I could help you guys to take that the next step farther. So associate what it is. Everybody, we've talked about this before, Tony. Everybody has natural gifts. That DNA gift that just makes you good at what you do. When you work in an environment that's a benefit, that's when you love your job the most. When you work against it, that's when people don't like their job. So for me, it's intuition, it's all those, which makes me a great recruiter. I love it. So for me, if I was looking at something like that, I'd say, here's the thing that I think I can help. I've been in your CPG world, but what makes me really good isn't just the fact that I understand your space. I also have a really good gut about where a product should go to make it sing. I mean, you have to be in charge of your own job search. I mean, allowing a baby HR generalist or AI to be the trajectory of your career, all you're going to do is frustrate the hell out of yourself, and the longer you're on the bench, the longer you, even if you're working, the longer you are in your job search, the harder it gets. You just lose that early passion, early momentum. I know somebody's going to love me. You start to doubt your skill set, and it really isn't about that. It's placing yourself in the wrong place.